Okay, I'm back, everyone. I'm back, and let me know if you can hear me better. If you can hear me better now, guys. If it is better, drop plus in the chat or just type if it is better, because I put my microphone. Now hopefully you can hear all these beautiful scrape noises. Okay, so I'm ready to start putting one more portion of the tile, but for that I would need to put the tape again, because if you don't want to have your grout joints dirty that you need to scrape them, you just tape it and it's ready, and you have no dirt, no nothing. Let me see. Okay, so I'm back. So you just put tape like that. Okay, I just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. Okay, so I'll put 8 more. I can probably even put 9 more. So if you want to have your tile clean, which is much faster when it comes to grout, you just use a tape like I do. You can use any other tape. I happen to have this blue tape, but even tan tape will work as good as blue tape, because anyways you're gonna trash it with all that leftover of the mortar that you have. That's it. Nice and good. Let me know if you can hear me better, guys. Now let's apply our sunset. The sunset I'm using is made by Mopay. It is modified sunset, which means that you don't have to put any additives, and it should stick. It should stick good enough. When you have tape, as you can see, you don't have to worry about nothing. You just spread your sunset mortar on the wall. So then when you remove it, you don't have nothing inside your joints when it comes to grout. And as you can see, on this wall I have it nice and clean, and I don't have to clean anything. I'll just put the grout, wipe it off, and it will be good to go. So usually when it comes to sunset, you have to pick the color of it that matches the tile the most. But in that case, I wasn't the one who bought this sunset, so it's gray. And I usually like to work with white better. If it's not a dark tile, that makes sense to use it dark synset, but that's why it's better to be also accurate and not to have any synset that might be sticking out. So when it comes to Schluter profile, I already put it on adhesive sealant, but now I'll just work kind of into those sections of edge profile so the synset will fill all these cavities and holes. So as you can see, for the waterproofing, I use the go board panels, and I mean, when you take in consideration the cost of this paneling, it is much better than any other brands, because it's like 20 bucks, I think, or 25 for a sheet of that go board, and it's 3 feet by 5 feet. And I mean foot or feet, whatever. And if it's like cement board and stuff like that, it's also around 15 bucks per sheet. But for the cement board, it's hard to cut it. It's hard. Almost everything about the cement board is hard. It's even hard to think about it, because like you have to use the grinder and cut it. It's just terrible. Thank you for joining. Hi Chris Sullivan. Thank you. I'm glad that it sounds great, because it's been a microphone that I use like wireless, and I just figured that. Hi Brody. Thank you for joining. I just figured that I can use the charger and pretty much charge my iPhone through that microphone, which is crazy because the charger for it's not the for iPhone. But I'm glad that you can hear me, and it's just perfect. So in this, usually if it was normal temperature, if it was like warm as it's in the normal house, I wouldn't apply so much synset. I would go probably half of it. But since this is a new construction and there is no heating yet, so there was like a kerosene heater that I used, but like when I got here, it's still warm. I shut it off. So then when I go up, my synset won't dry as fast. So just so we know that anyways, it's gonna be tacky, sticky, and all that stuff, because I've seen some guys be like, you have to back butter this style. I mean, usually if it's a big tile, then you do have to back butter it, but this is subway, this is small tiles, and like you just make sure your synset consistency is right, and then you just work left to right each tile, and it will stick like I mean like crazy, believe me. But if it was like 12 by 24 or any tile bigger than that, I would have back buttered it. So usually when it comes to that Schluter edge, I like to use the edge of my trowel exactly on that Schluter profile, because Schluter is sticking out from the wall, and when I put my synset, I kind of blend it. So it's pretty good to know that. And then when you have all that mess, all that stuff, I mean, you can remove some of the stuff, of course, with your trowel, but usually I just take this tape and I peel it off. I peel it off just like that, and whatever unnecessary stuff I have, it will just be on the tape, but not on my beautiful tile. Maybe just some of it if I wasn't accurate. So yep, that's it. And then it goes to trash, and then you don't have to do anything. You have it nice and ready. Okay, and now you just have to be quick on this stage. Just oh, sorry. Then you have just to go one by one. Let me zoom it just tiny bit so you can see it better, and let's go, guys. So I already have all the tiles pre-cut because my wall, this one is perfectly plumb and perfectly straight because I wet shimmed this wall, and now this one I also use the laser level to place my Schluter, so I have perfect distance from here to here, and as you can see it's 3 tiles and just 2 halves and 2 tiles for another row, so it allows me to be really quick and efficient. So, and I made sure that my first row is perfectly leveled by using my laser. Like I said, left to right. I mean, it's spread there like crazy behind the tile, and then you just go one by one. Also, when you have ceramic tiles, not porcelain, another thing that you have to pay attention to is sometimes they have a like arrow on one of the sides, either here, 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 or here. So pretty much if you have the arrows, you have to have your wall and each tile point in the same direction because it's like the manufacturer's suggestion. And you will have less difference on your joints and everything if you will be following that. So on that tile, there is nothing like that because it's ceramic, and pretty much they're trying to say without saying it that like no matter what you do, anyways, it's gonna look in the ceramics. But that's okay. There is another trick that you can use to install it nice and good, which is which is like you have 2 edges usually on this tile that are different. So one goes kind of like wraps around. Another one, this one, it doesn't have an enamel board on it, and it kind of goes a little bit like shim type. So you just need to make sure every time when you install a new tile, yeah, so you have the opposite side of the tile, not the same, because if you put the same 2 sides, when it's tied to one another, it's already no gap between the tiles, but you already have the gap there. When you put it like that, it's much more tight. So this is pretty much the main logic about it. And like this tile is pretty good, but some tiles they could be like I can put my first row and it will be exactly perfectly level, but then you go, let's say 3 more rows up, and then your 4th row is like just not straight at all, not horizontal. So in that case, you might have to double check your each row by using laser and getting yourself a pole that will allow you to lift your laser up each row so you can see where your tiles are, because sometimes it's the case, but it's not today. With this tile, it's the same distance from the bottom of the tile to the top. So from that standpoint, I'm pretty lucky. Yeah, nice and perfect. Nice and perfect. I have spacers on the other side. So every time I have to get myself some spacers, pulling them off out of the joint, and then I'm reusing them. I like this. I like these shims a lot. They are kind of rubber. They are flexible, and it is like 500 of them in a pack. You can get them at Home Depot. They don't have them at Lowe's for some reason, which I think is not good. It's not good for them, but it's like this Home Depot's brand, which is DEP, something like that, DEP, whatever it is. So yeah, left, right, you spread it, and usually I do my roll. Like I said, I'm paying attention which side goes where, just not to have any thick joints. Left, right, perfect. Left, right, perfect. And another piece. Usually also I'm checking which piece I have, and I'm using the opposite type of the edge on the other side, so then I can see. Also, like when you plan your layout and everything, of course you have to make sure that you have, like, you see I have big tile next to the big tile, small tile next to the small tile in the corner. I know that it's quite obvious for most people probably, but I mean, I've seen people do just some unpredictable stuff and they don't see that. So I think it might be helpful for someone, because at some point when I was just learning all that stuff, I mean, there was a moment when I knew nothing about it. So maybe somebody who's watching is exactly at the same point now. So another thing, like, you have to look visually and determine which wall would be more noticeable, cut will be more noticeable. So let's say if we come here and you look at this wall pretty much from this angle or from the inside of the shower, when you have this tile covering the cuts on, anyways, you are not always like looking like that. You'll be looking from the angle, and you, like, most of the tiles, they will cover the cuts, and that's why it's much better. The same stuff on the back wall behind me. So every time you need to try to eliminate as much as possible, as many as possible problems that might happen. So if, let's say, you have like some short piece that you cut or some bigger gap that you expected, then if you use that logic, it will be less noticeable and your end result will look much better compared to if you haven't been thinking about it and then you have something that doesn't go as you planned, and then you have the gap if your wall was like that. So you put your tile and you see it right away. So that's why it's nice to do it that way. Also, after the tile is done and it's time for the grout, usually I'm trying not to fill these inside corners with the grout, because they need to remain flexible in case, like, it's a framing house, so it's gonna move and there will be some expansion and contraction, like especially you have summer, you have winter, like different seasons, and you want to make sure your tile has some room to flex. Your walls have some room to flex. If you put it too close, if you fill it with a grout won't flex and it will crack. So what you have to do after all the joints are finished, you have to put the color matching sealant. So some people might not know it also, and it's also good when you have color matching caulking that you got from the store where you got your grout, and you just use that color matching caulking on all the inside corners. So you can use on the bottom, you can use white silicone on the shower base if you want to, but when it comes to tile, you have to have a color matching. And there are also a few types of them. Some of them are sanded, some of them are non-sanded. So I'm gonna be using Mapei grout here because pretty much Lowe's supplies this grout. And you can get the same color matching caulking, which will be for Mapei, it's non-sanded, but I know that like Home Depot, they have their own brand which called Custom, and they have sanded grout. And sometimes if you wanna for some reason match it, you can use sanded, but in my opinion, you don't see any difference when you finished your shower. It doesn't matter if you use sanded or non-sanded. Sanded will even grab probably more debris, like the dirt will stay. It will be harder to clean it. So, I mean, it's my opinion, but there are different applications and different materials for different situations. That's it. So yeah, as you can see, it goes really quick, but mostly it's because I did all my prep. My walls are nice and flat, straight, whatever. I pre-cut all the tiles. It's been 13 tiles that I cut in half to get my 26 pieces and not spend time running back and forth. But sometimes if your wall is not perfect, like this, so this wall is not perfect, and we already have the door here. So I left it like it is. The wall behind me was also already had a Schluter edge profile. I mean, bead what's the name of that thing? Corner bead. So corner bead was installed. For some reason, somebody already drywall in this whole shower, and then they removed this drywall, and then they left tons of drywall joint compound on the tub and like everywhere. So I was cleaning that stuff, removing that joint compound. Okay, so we just got rid of one box. We have one less box, one box that we don't have anymore. I'm a little bit tired, so my brain doesn't function the way it should. So thank you for joining. Hi, Uncommon Woman. I have that same head on. Whoa, oh, that's cool. I mean, you can just take it off, and this is the way it can be fixed. I'm just kidding, guys. Press the like button, guys. Double tap that screen to give this live stream a like. And let me know if you have any questions regarding that installation or anything else. Let me know where you're watching from. So they also have this kind of on the factory, when they put it in the boxes, they spread wax that dries, and then it prevents tiles from scratching one another while they're in the box. So that's why you can see some of the stuff that I'm just kind of like, you see, pulling off, scraping off sometimes. Sometimes it's just falling and it looks like some kind of weird something. So every time when you install each row, you have to pay attention to have your lines match. And sometimes some of the tiles, like I said, these tiles, they have, like, I'm surprised, but they have perfect sizing when it comes to a narrow side of the tile. But like most ceramics, they would be just funky, like all different stuff. So you have to kind of, that's why also it's better to use shims, because you put it, so if you have even wall and you just push it all the way to the wall, it gives you equal spacing, like it was a spacer. But if you do that first and then you see that one of the corners goes lower, you just shim a little bit and it drops tile down. So then you can line everything the way you want. Okay, so it seems like I need to bring more of that pieces, because I use my tile snapper to cut all of them, and sometimes when you cut them, you snap it and one of the sides might have like a little bit of a ceramic that it's just roughly sticking out, and you don't, it might give you some extra thickness on the roll. And I took those pieces and I cut all these areas that were sticking out. I cut them on my wet sole that I have there. So now I don't have anything that's sticking out, but I have quite a few tiles that I need to bring from near my wet sole. So let me know in the comments if you like this style, if you think that it's beautiful. I just had a customer here today and he was like, I should have probably recorded his reaction, because he came and he was like, wow, that looks amazing. And it's always a pleasure to see when people, they like your work and they're happy with the result. So in my cases, I mean, most of the people, I would say probably all of them, I don't know. No, there were a few people that didn't like stuff, but it was all mostly related to their choice. So if somebody choose the tile and then they don't listen your suggestions, and then be like, oh no, I think I better get this stuff, and then they get their pick, their choice, and all of a sudden they don't like it, or maybe you suggested them layout or a color of the grout, and they be like, no, I actually think I should do this or that. This is usually when you have the problem. So, but I mean, there were some moments when I did a bad work, when I was not experienced enough, but it was something that wasn't necessary for me to point out. Usually I was the one to see that, and I'll be redoing the stuff just to make it look nice. So, because I mean, I like what I do, and there are some people who are just placed um, by their life, whatever, in the construction or remodeling niche. But in my case, I was trying to learn and figure out how to do stuff since I was a kid. So it was something I had desire for. And for me, it's not like I feel damned by being here. I like what I do. The worst part usually is when you have to deal with people who hate what they do, and you just like there is nothing you can change about it. They think they just have no other choice, but there is always a choice. You can always try something else, and I mean it's always some place where you can fulfill your talents. You just might not like what you do because you are doing wrong thing. You shouldn't be where you are. So this is the way it works. So you see, it goes pretty quick when it comes to, yeah, some of the tiles, they are just warped. Like you'd be like trying to make it flush, but it's like something is popping because it's ceramic. So another thing that I would also suggest is that if you have a chance to have your actual lights on when you work, so I mean, like if you have some LED light that you want to put or vanity light that you're gonna install or something, and if it's in your power to have it on while the tile is in work, it's better to do it because sometimes you can do your best job and then that sneaky light on the top that never was there, never was installed, getting finally turned on, and then you see something that you haven't seen before, or the client can see that. So if it's something that is possible to kind of have on, it's better to have it on. So okay, guys, just trying to oh, thank you for likes, thank you for your likes and hearts, thank you. Don't forget to like by double tapping your screen, and consider subscribing if you like. I was gonna say, if you like wearing nasal strips like I do, because I cannot breathe. Last few days I just can't breathe without those nasal strips, and they help me to breathe better. So that's it, guys. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from, which state or which country, if it's not United States. If you have any questions, maybe if you're about to do your own remodeling, or maybe you don't want to make mistakes, or I don't know, or you just want to ask me something, just don't hesitate, feel free. As soon as I see your comment, I will answer it. So we are getting to the point where I would need to use my step ladder. Okay, so like I said, I also make sure I have two different cuts. So one will go on one side, then you press it left, right, and don't press small tiles too hard, because I mean, it might feel the same, but then they will kind of soak deeper than big tiles, because it's less pressure that you need to apply on the small piece. So I can already feel how it's getting kind of cooler here, colder and cooler, but that's okay. At least, I mean, for me, it's most important that I have nice and creamy thin set, because when it's hot, you might think that you do a nice job, but then your thin set, when you put your finger, it doesn't stick to your finger, it means that it won't stick to your tile. So you'll be like pushing it, thinking that everything is good, but no. Then it might start just falling off. Especially like here, there's gonna be a track for like aluminum U channel from shower glass door, so like sliding door, and it's gonna be drilled somewhere, and you want to make sure when someone is drilling they have nice and secure tiles. It's actually one of the reasons why I like Go Board compared to Schluter, because Schluter makes also their own boards, like waterproofing boards, and when it comes to like shower floors or shower pans, I usually like Schluter, but when it comes to their board, it is too flexible. It is just too flexible, and when I had it happen a few times with me when I had an opening and the glass guys were installing. I would say that they were not professional glass installers. They were just overall remodelers, and it was a glass tile that I installed. It was pretty thin and pretty small. So then when they were drilling and they put their fasteners, they cracked my tile because they didn't put the silicone gasket behind the hinge, and hinge had screws, and also with the fact that the Schluter board was flexible, it successfully cracked my tile. So I was like, they called me and they said, there is some problem. We don't know what's going on. You did some poor job. And I came and I was like, of course, yeah. Of course it was me, not the guy who put the glass door without the spacer. These ceilings in this bathroom in house overall, they are 9 foot, 9 feet, 9 foot, 9 feet. So it's pretty tall. And also when I do my layout, like in this case, we have shower base, so it's not much we can do. But usually I also measure everything, and I'm double checking how big of a piece I'm gonna have on the top if I will start with a full size piece on the very bottom. And sometimes if it's like maybe you have like one full tile and some kind of a gap that needs to be filled, so you might consider using like a crown molding or something, kind of PVC trim or something. Or if you have it that you have like a small piece, you can cut your first row at the very bottom tiny bit to make your piece on the top a little bit more bigger, but at the same time it won't be that noticeable on the bottom. So, and the same stuff goes when you have to determine where to stop your tile. Usually like on the sides, I have a casing here, so I measured where it should be, and actually when I measured, it's exactly 3 tiles, 3 full tiles, that I don't need to cut them or extend or anything. So I could have done like pretty much, could have stopped tile somewhere here, but there is no sense. It looks much more symmetrical, much better the way it is, and I don't have to do a lot of cutting. So usually pay attention if there is a possibility for you to somehow lay it out, so then you don't have any chunks, or you don't have, let's say, to have like a full size tile and then like cut all, like I would have had to cut 2 tiles, not just this one, if I decide to stop it somewhere else. So all that stuff in the long term, it saves you time. The same stuff, like you see, I'm trying to be accurate and not to have any dirt, any like synths on my hands anywhere. Again, when it comes to grout, I don't have to clean anything like other than that kind of stuff. And usually I take this just spacer, and usually it comes off really easy. So another thing that I wanted to share when it comes to tile installation, it is the grout choice. Let me guys see and check your comments if you have any comments. Where are you located? I am located in Tennessee, Tri-Cities. I'm located there. It's your goal, Rose. Hi, Rose. So thank you for joining, and let me bring it a little bit down. I forgot my tripod, guys, so I'm using some custom stuff. Tennessee, yes, it's Tennessee. That's right. I'm here. I am here doing some tile work, as you can see. So let's circle back to what I was trying to explain in relation to grout. So when you're choosing your grout, you can get sanded or non-sanded or epoxy grout, or like pre-mixed one part like epoxy. So pretty much sanded, non-sanded, and epoxy. So the most common grout, I would say, it is sanded, because it's reinforced. It's much easier for DIY to work with, because the sand, when you use your sponge, it allows you to kind of work it out, and it's much easier to have a nice, beautiful finish. But it is fast setting, and I've heard many people complaining about. I mean, even myself, I was there when I was just a beginner. When you put your grout and you try to do the whole wall, and you don't have maybe quite experience, or maybe you mixed it and then you thought that you would be fast enough, but it ended up just hardening on the wall, and you can do nothing about it. Sanded, not epoxy. Yeah, that's true. Sanded is way to go, but sometimes it's better to check. So there is sanded, and also like how it's called, sand replacement. I think the grout that they make by Mappe now, it's called sand replacement. So it's pretty much means that they use like not a sand, but something different, like silica or some kind of glass, whatever, small pieces of it. So then it doesn't scratch the tile, because when you use sanded grout, some tile they have like a soft enamel, and this enamel might get scratched like crazy. And I mean, I had one customer who hired me after he hired the company that they did their shower, they put the grout, they scratched all the tile. They had to chisel it off and replace it with the same tile. So it's something that happens. And I remember when I was given by default like sanded grout, and I said, let's try on a sample first to see if it leaves any scratches. If it does, are they big enough for you to live with them, or maybe it's better to get non-sanded grout. So I used it on a sample first, and guess what? Even on a sample, it was all scratched. So at that moment, everyone was happy that I offered to try on a sample, because if it was a tile, I could have been where these poor guys were when they said that they can they can redo the tile for free. So I mean, I like doing tile, but not the same tile in the same shower few times in a row. I need to mix a little bit my synset because it's been sitting. Usually you mix with your hand the top of the bucket, and then the bottom kind of needs to be mixed a little bit. Okay, because I could have done it by hand, but why? If I can just mix the whole thing. So I just figured that my microphone died, and I turned on another one so you can hear me again. So sorry guys for that. Sometimes you just don't see stuff happens and you don't see it. So I'm almost done with that wall. It's just a little bit left, just teeny tiny bit. Few more rows on the top. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. Drop it like it's hot. Now it's a fun part. It's climbing on a step ladder. some debris from my mixer, because that mixer's seen a lot of buckets of synset, and sometimes some of the stuff can just fall in your bucket and you'll be like, what's going on? So I don't like this. I don't like this synset. Even though it's not bad, it's okay, and it's not like the budget version. But my favorite one is made by Schluter. So if that synset, if you got it on your clothes, you won't be able to wash it off next day or anytime later. With that thing, it's like sand. You can wash it off, even scrape it off with your finger. So it's because Schluter, they have like their own and like recipe. So when it's designed to be used like a bonding material for waterproofing as well. So they have waterproofing tape that's pretty much also, or they have their fabric also that you can use like over the drywall. And when you use it over the drywall, use that synset as a bonding material. So that thing, and also it's getting dry faster, so you have to kind of always pay attention to what's going on. Make sure it's not dry, because sometimes it goes dry. With Schluter, it's not the case. It's more expensive, but it's worth spending extra buck to get nice materials, especially if you install it for yourself. That would be much easier. So I have some kind of debris again. So last time I didn't put 2 rows on the top, so I will be putting the synset on the tile and adhering it, because my trowel won't fit there, and I don't really want to try to do it with the trowel. So that's it. Whoever did the drywall here did a pretty decent job. I mean, finishing, and it's pretty nice looking. Like when I have my lamp on, I can see that it's just perfect, and I'm amazed. It's the first time I see nice drywall finishing, to be honest, other than the internet or whatever. I mean, in real life here. Hi Gala, hi. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I see the comments only when I go to my phone, because when I'm working, I see the camera, I don't see the display. Yeah, it's my best, like the favorite part is to go on a ladder and go down and go up and go down and go up. It's like the best. And like I said, there is no heat in this house yet. So it's not hot, and this inside is not getting dry on the top. So usually if I would put that many of things set on the wall, it would start getting kind of dry on the top immediately. But with the fact that it's kind of cool, it's not happening. So I'm using it to my advantage. And it's also great when you use a go board. Like some people, they, even if it's like, if it's their project, they are trying to save money. So what they do, they can try to get like baker board that's actually designed for the floors. I mean, it could be used on the walls, but it's not the way it should be done. So I won't suggest for you to use baker board like Hardy Baker, because I've seen, like, I removed quite a few showers that if you have any porosity uh, on your waterproofing, let's say if you bought yourself a gallon or whatever of Red Guard, this liquid kind of waterproofing, and then you were so happy that you saved money on the waterproofing and you used baker board, and then you left one teeny tiny hole somewhere where you haven't noticed that, then it will get into that baker board and will ruin it. So, and like just the fact that you have to cut that baker board with some kind of grinder or something, and it will be tons of dust. You have to deal with it. It's heavy. You have to load it. You have to unload it. You have to buy it. So it's much better to use stuff like that. It's go boards. It's not expensive. There are tons of them nowadays. They have like Weedy board. They have Schluter. They have go board. So you can choose for yourself which price you like better, and you can watch videos and see like comparison when people they put the water, they make like a water tray from different kind of systems, and then you see how well does it actually stays, and how well it's holding the water, and there is like bunch of tests and everything. I'm from Tennessee, Ukraine. So, and before I spent 5 years in Ohio. So I'm kind of like everywhere and out of nowhere at the same time, if it makes sense. If it does, drop the like by double tapping your screen and consider subscribing. If it doesn't, do it anyways, just to practice. Yep. So with the tape, you see, no mess, no mess, no nothing. Just clean hands, just pure skill. No messing around. I think my second microphone just died. Man, you just can't keep track of all these devices. Like everything should be charged in time, and when you don't see it, then you don't see it. That's it. So let me try and see if I can charge the microphone from that thing at the same time while I'm charging. That is just crazy. I didn't know that I can do that, guys. I'm learning something every day. Your work is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Kala. Thank you, Kala. Sorry, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Thank you very much. I'm trying to do my best, and this is how it looks like, and thank God that it works the way it should. So I'm just here. I do this stuff, and it works. Where are you watching from, Gala? I know there is no sound because my wireless microphone just died. So sorry, you have poor sound for a little bit before I will be able to put it back because I'm charging it right now, guys. I'm sorry, but thank you for staying tuned. Uncommon woman. Sorry. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. I just charged my microphone. It's not all the way, but I can switch it to another one. And while this one is charging, I'll be able to use another one. So let me know if you hear me better now. If you can hear me, because on my phone I have a bad microphone that it almost sounds like you're. We hear you now. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Uncommon Woman. You made an uncommon action by letting me know that I can, you can hear me now. So the sound is clear now. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, guys. I forgot my tripod, so I'm just trying to. I just built tripod out of 2x4s, so and I'm trying to secure my phone, guys, because it's like it's quite funky, and I know it. So I'm glad that the sound is clear now. So uh, I'll need to switch actually something before I can continue, so I can see the. So I have that microphone on me, and this light indicates that it's on. So I'll turn it so then I can see some when I check it that it's on. So, and I have another one charging right now. So hopefully, like if this one, I mean, when this one will die, I will be able to switch it right away. So in this house there is no internet connection, so it's quite bad because I already did mosaic on this floor and I haven't recorded. I mean, I tried to do live stream, so I did few short videos that I will upload at some point, but I wasn't able to live stream. So what I ended up doing, I had to figure out by downloading the app where the nearby, like nearest tower is located. So I figured that. Then I went outside toward that tower and I found the spot that was having the best internet among the house. So I found that spot, and to have internet to be able to stream, I put my iPhone outside, and it's now on a sawhorses sitting outside and just serving as a hotspot pretty much. And I'm using the old iPhone 8 to shoot this live stream now. So, and it has a really bad microphone, like the one that's built in is just terrible. So that's why when it switches to the kind of default, you don't hear me. It sounds like in a tube. I might have to clean this microphone at some point, but I just figured that I can charge my phone, charge my microphone at the same time while I'm using this device. So I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that. Why not? So, yep, that's it. And I mean, I like it. It looks kind of nice. I don't know. It looks like water to me. Some kind of grayish. Hi, Klenia Taveras. Hi, thank you for joining. So I'm working on this shower. You see there are two tiles here that are related to niche, and then I will switch my camera when I be done with this wall, and we will put a few more tiles around the niche and we'll finish the top. Hi Kyle, hi, I see you here. Thank you for staying tuned. Uh, like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for joining. So it's great to have you guys. It's good when you work and you don't have to be just by yourself. When you can, when you can have somebody kind of like uh, hanging around. even though it's virtually. So it's better than just being alone, because there is nobody. Like, this house is like on a mountain. It's like really high. I even had problems getting up on this job site when it was raining. So there is no one here, and you have forest all the way around. So sometimes it's just kind of, you feel like you're just here by yourself, and it's not quite cool sometimes. So okay. So also, when it comes to the Schluter profile, to cover the edge of your tile, this is the main purpose that it serves. And it also has like a decorative purpose. Some people like, because all this bathroom will have like a black finishes. So together with this black Schluter trim, it's gonna blend and look like it should be. So some people like it because of that. Um, Sometimes also, like, if you have the outside corner and you don't want to cut tiles 45 degree, uh, because 45 degrees sometimes can chip if you drop like the can with something, uh, or wherever it might fell uh, down. So when you have aluminum Schluter profile, I mean, it's not gonna be damaged, maybe scratched tiny bit. You got a marker, you just touched it up with a Sharpie, and it's good to go again. So yeah, but they have different thicknesses. So when you buy it for your tile, make sure you have the piece of tile and the Schluter available, because if it will be uh, too thin, then your tile will be sticking out. If it will be too thick, then your tile will be kind of like inwards, which is actually happening here, because whoever bought this profile, it was purchased just like, there is another bathroom, like master bathroom, that I'm gonna be working on, and it has thicker, like 12 by 24 porcelain tile, and it will work just perfect for that. But for this one, I either need to put a lot of Sinset and use like half-inch whatever, like trowel, which is crazy, and it just you will take tons of Sinset, and it will be hard to catch the nice joints and everything. So pretty much, and I mean, I will just grout it and I will blend it with a sponge, so it will look like nice even line. And especially with the fact that there will be like a shower doors, I mean, it's not gonna be a problem at all. But in general, it's better to have it so it matches the thickness of your tile plus Sinset that you're gonna be using. Yeah, it is lots of spacers that needs to be placed for that project, for that subway tile. I better like large format tile, so you can cut and drop few pieces. I installed the porcelain, like large format porcelain, about a year ago, and it was Love's started selling a large format. It was 24 by 48 inches tiles. Can you imagine, like 24 by 48? So I had, like, imagine this wall, and I had just four pieces, like just one, two, three, four. The like disadvantage is that it's extremely heavy. Like, you have to just break your back to do that. And also you have to have either really sharp and like high quality tile snapper for dry cutting, or you have to use wet saw or like whatever, but it needs to be really high quality tool. So I had a hard time. I mean, you can use even grinder, of course, to cut it, but like it was glazed. So I had 4 tiles on side wall, 4 on another side wall, and 8 tiles on the kind of main wall with niche. And so I liked it, and it turned really cool. I have a short video of me kind of restoring that whole bathroom. It was pretty old bathroom, so all the subfloor was just gone. I had to remove all the plywood subfloor all the way to the studs, to the joists, and uh, I mean, it was just funny. I remember once the lady opened the door and I told her that like I'm removing the subfloor, but she was like, "Wow, there is no, I can see the basement." And I even had my phone recording, and at some point it fell down and it kept recording from underneath, from the basement, which was kind of unique. So yeah, when it comes to subway, you have to cut a lot of that stuff, space a lot of these tiles. I mean, and you have tons of joints then to maintain, to clean your grout and everything. So sometimes it makes sense, but not always. But it goes pretty quick, anyways. When you have your tiles ready and everything, the main part every time usually is for me to fix the walls before you can put the tile, because like all these little details that they make difference at the very end. So some guys, they would be just like, "Oh, you're too slow," like commenting on my live stream. And sometimes you have to be slow, not when it comes just like putting tiles. You see how many, maybe it's like 1 hour. It took me 1 hour to put these tiles. I don't think it's, I don't think that it's slow, but like when it comes to other parts, which is like waterproofing, leveling and everything, you better be, you better take your time. Because I mean, if you care about your reputation, about your customers, about the outcome, if you don't, I mean, you can just go ahead and slap the tile over the tile, whatever. But I assume that people that watch me, they share the same values like I do, which is like, I mean, take care of the customer and do the stuff as if it was your house. So, and you see, while we are talking, I mean, I already have not a lot of tiles here to put, just few last rows, and then we'll switch to this back wall. I'll finish it, but I'll have to cut few pieces for the top because it doesn't have like full size. Also, like pay attention sometimes if you have a little bit of a thin set kind of sticking out. When you put your spacer, these little sand particles, they give you extra thickness. So like if you have it in a joint, you better press it not like you usually press it, just to keep it nice and even. So for another bathroom, it's gonna be the whole, like I'm gonna be doing the Schluter base pan for the floor. uh, it's gonna be like a kind of stone type, like a bunch of stone from the ocean, on the floor. They are on the mesh, and it's gonna be pretty cool actually for your feet when you stand there, especially if they had like if they would have had the heating like for the floors, which I think is a great idea to have. So and actually this Schluter is not single piece. It stops right here. It's 8-footer, and then I cut one more piece on the top. So the trick for it also is that when you cut it and when you have to kind of butt two pieces together, you just take like a Sharpie, or I use Milwaukee markers. I like them a lot, but they are really hard to remove once you marked it. So make sure you don't overspread it. So just touch the edges with the marker. So then you can have nice and hidden transition between one piece and another piece. So just little life hack about that. Also, when you buy your tile and you are at the store, or if you got, your tile delivered by somebody, if you're a contractor, you have always to pay attention to what's on your package before you start it. So I got all these boxes first, and I check the stickers. So you check everything. You check like serial number. You check batch. You check like a color type, and make sure that it matches. Even sometimes a date. If you can have tiles that were made the same day, it's better to have them this way, because like there were 3 boxes that were different, and one of them had even different cardboard, so like different design, the same tile, the same everything, but different. So when I opened it, guess what? Of course it was different. So I had to ask to bring me more boxes while they still have it in stock, if they do. So, and we were lucky to have it in stock. So I have few pieces that I cut. Now, I mean, I can probably just continue like that. So 2 more pieces. Thank you for staying tuned. Wonderful. I appreciate it. Hi, Benjamin Orozco. It's almost over. Yeah, it is, but I have another section on the top here, and I have a little bit around the niche. So you see, I've been live streaming 87 minutes, and probably minutes, maybe even 100 minutes. I'll be done with this wall. So when you have everything ready, it's like few hours, even less. And like I said, there is no heating on in this house yet. So my Sinset, it's not dry on the top. It's still wet and tacky. When I put these tiles, I always brush them left to right. So then it will stick better than anything. So yeah, also today I did the niche. I usually like to frame it, then put my membrane over, and didn't cut the actual niche. I cut the niche at the very end. So guys, let me take a few more spacers from from the opposite wall. Yeah, it looks beautiful. I like it a lot. The beautiful part about tiling is like you see the end result right after you put the tiles. So it's unlike some rough stages where when people can spend money and pretty much don't see the end result, and they won't have that like satisfaction inside them when it comes to paying until they see the actual visual part. With style, I like it because customers will be like, whoa, that looks awesome, I love it. And then all of a sudden they are happy about the amount of money they put into the materials and all this like kind of waterproofing stuff that's not quite cheap as well. So yep, that's it. So it's almost, this wall is almost ready. It is almost ready, guys. Thank you for staying tuned, for joining. Consider giving this live stream a like by double tapping your screen. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more content like that, because I'll be putting a lot of that stuff, and you can gain some knowledge from over than 16 years of experience that I have in this field. Or if you just like to hang out and like watch somebody work, that's great too. So consider subscribing. So what I'm gonna do now, I'll bring my saw, my dry tile snapper. Very nice, almost finished. So I'm not an engineer, and I mean, I'm not an amateur as well. So I've been doing it for 16 years professionally, and before that I mean, 16 years ago I was able to have full-time work and get paid, which means that I already had skills enough for people to hire me. So I've been doing it longer than that, but I consider myself a specialist for the last 16 years, I would say. So it took me some time to study, I mean, tile, but I was practicing. I was a helper. That's how I learned it. I haven't finished university that is related to that. So sorry guys, my microphone died and probably you are not able to hear me well, but I charged it and now I put another one, and I'll put that one in the charger. Sorry, I have to kind of leave my phone and everything, my stepladder, but not the stuff that you kind of should see. And actually, Instagram, my business, and my YouTube, which is Luka Pro PRO, and then renovation. So usually when they say Luka, they think it's with C, but free to subscribe Yeah, as a helper, you start learning to grout. It's 100% true, and it was exactly what I was doing. The tile setter that had me tools. So he was like, "Here's the grout, maybe like one informed that I can't use it for the tile. I use my fingers. I use my fingers to clean the tile, and fingers. I have all my fingers just bloody because bloody because the porcelain tile. When it comes to like upper rows, I don't measure. I know that it might sound weird, but I don't. Upside down, then I mark my line, then that section here. So then when I flip that tile, this is gonna be, I'm gonna go on my tile snapper, I will score it, snap it, and you'll see it will fit cutting and something. Repeat what you, my memory, and say what was the last thing I kind of disappeared, because I mean, for me, lose that connection, and it was so gala. Let me know what was that. Audio is chopped. That is hard for me to figure out why it's. Yeah, I see my microphone blinks for some reason. So you should hear me now. Now it should be better. I mean, it was blinking for some reason. I don't know. I don't know the meaning of that blinking, but now it should be good. So, what was the last thing I was telling you guys? Was it about measuring and cutting without measuring, or was it about my experience as a helper when I was doing some grout work? Also, if you like, there is a funky tool that you can use when you don't need to have any precision. Uh, you can use stuff like that, and sometimes when your tiles will be covered, like let's say this tile is covered by that, and you don't have to have accurate cut, and sometimes you just need to like, kind of chop a little bit of the tile just to make it fit, and you want it to be fast. Um, that's okay, Gallus. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for your comments and for being here. Just consider subscribing not to lose the connection, and I will see you next time. You are welcome on live stream. So I'll be on tomorrow as well. I will charge my microphones. So, yep. Thank you. Thank you very much, and have a nice rest of your day, or have a nice sleep, I guess. So let's see this tile. I haven't measured, as you can see. So pretty much I just brought it next to here, and then I flipped it. I brought it here, and then without measuring, I'm pretty sure it's gonna fit perfectly. So it might be slightly, I mean, it's okay if it's slightly uneven. Let's say it has a little bit like a hair kind of joint on the top here, but that stuff is easy. You can just run the caulking. Anyways, it needs to be sealed with caulking on the top. So you just seal it with caulking and then it's good. So I have that. That is ready. And then I have another tile. Actually, I have too much thin set on the top, so I will do like that. And I'll remove it here. Because anyways, I'm crushing it behind that. I'm crushing it behind that thing. So I'm gonna show you guys again if Uncommon Woman is still here and still ready to hear that life hack, if we can call it that way. So let me grab a marker. Oh, here it is. So I have that piece like left over that got left from when I cut this stuff. So what I can do is just actually, so I mark this side and I mark that side. Then I flip it and this side will be for here, this side will be for here. That's it. You don't have to measure nothing, especially if you know how to use caulking, and you can caulk it at the very end when it's done on the top. So I cut that piece. You are here. Okay, I got you. So you cut that piece, and then it fits there perfectly. Might have some stuff sticking out, but mostly, especially since it's on the top, if it's just tiny bit off, it's okay. But usually you can cut it just a little bit shorter, and then it's just perfect. So just like that. In my case, I mean, it fits there perfectly. So I mean, like I said, so I'm not amateur, but I'm not engineer though. So I spent 16 years doing that, and like I said, grout was one of the things that I was doing when I was helper. And the guy gave me no tools. He was just like, here's your finger, here's a grout, just fill it with your purik knife and then make it nice and smooth with your finger. So I did it like that, but I got no fingers left at the end. So it's better not to be me. Don't be me. Use your proper tools. That's why, I mean, one of the reasons why I do YouTube is to give more information to those people who might be doing stuff themselves or just kind of getting into trades, so they can gain something from it and don't have to erase their fingers over the grout, since there are special tools that you use and get it done nice and efficiently. So it might be a little bit too big actually, but might be not. No, it's actually perfect. So yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. So I would have to move it a little bit, but overall it's pretty perfect. So it was last piece. Like I said, this synset is pretty bad. So I mean bad. It's not sticking out super much. It's not too hard to wash it. So I will just get the wet wipes tomorrow and I'll wipe it off from the ceiling. And there will be no signs of me messing with it. So that's it. I have few pieces around the niche that I have to finish, and I'm gonna show you those pieces, and I want to finish them, so then tomorrow I'll have just the niche to work with, and that's it. So high Birisu tile and marble. So I don't make any money from YouTube yet. Hopefully I will at some point, but I mean I can make them potentially if somebody is deciding to donate something or something like that, but not directly from YouTube. And I mean there is like $0 that I got, so pretty much uh, I'm working towards that. It's hard for me to stabilize it with all this microphone. Man, go ahead and just start. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. It's not a secret that like YouTube gives you an option to monetize at some point, and just to give you a little glimpse, um, when you do shorts, you would have to do tons of them to achieve a necessary amount of what's called public watch hours. But you can do live streams like I do, and they will be considered public watch hours, which can help you get closer to the monetization. So just so you have this kind of, it was really helpful for me when I got it. So I'm about to hit that milestone and be able to get something. But by the way, consider subscribing to the channel, man. And thank you for joining, and give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen. So yeah, 100% you should start, even for your business, man. Even for your business, you will be more recognizable. And yeah, you can do short videos. In my case, I did lots of short videos. I mean, I have my TikTok and everything. They were helpful for my clients or for people. You can reuse them on like Facebook or anywhere. So I got lots of clients saying, whoa, I seen your video and I like your work. So they were able to hire me because of some of the videos, short videos. But don't depend on them when it comes to, like you asked, earning something. Just it's more from long-term videos and live streams. So I would say just go for it, and at some point you'll hit that milestone. I haven't yet, but close. I can connect my shop, and I'm pretty soon I'm gonna start selling the t-shirts and hoodies with the designs that are related to like our team, like tile setter and remodeling and all stuff like that. So it's all in a process. So at some point you will see the shop that will be related to this channel, and you'll be able to get some nice cool shorts and hoodies with custom designs. That some of them they would have limited edition and will be limited in, and so not many people would be able to have them. Okay, so when I did that niche, it was just a wall. I framed it and I left the go board without cutting, and I just ran tile all the way up. And for the tiles that were like on a niche surface where the niche should be, I just put a little bit of a thin set, as you can see, like just dots. So I was able to pop them off next day. And now I cut pieces in half. So yeah, pretty much you see I'm putting all these tiles back. And now when I have I will put Schluter edge profile after. And as you can see, it's like the sizing is perfect. So it's 2 full tiles. Then it's like 1 and 2 halves. And it's like 4 tiles high. And it's gonna make it look beautiful when you have it nice, symmetrical, and you have 1.5 tile on one side, 1.5 tile on another side, like a frame from that edge profile. It's gonna look just awesome. And that way you can have like your niche exactly where you want. Exactly. So this tile goes on the top, I think. So this is like left bottom. Yeah. So this one should go here. And I cut them on my wet saw, so I have nice and clean cut compared to the dry tile snapper. That, and usually, like, since I already have some synset here, I just put it on the tile. And tomorrow I will come and I'll put the sheet mosaic on the back. Just like that. Left, right, up and down, to spread it nice and good so it won't fall off, and it sticks pretty well. So looks like I'm out of spacers. And I know that spacers on the bottom, they are already, like, I mean, the synset is already dry, so I'll remove vertical shims, and it still can press on the horizontal shims if it needs to press on it, but I'm pretty sure it's already absorbed some moisture and it won't sag down. But just in case, I took the vertical shims off. So here it is. It's already looking much better, guys. much better. So, and then to the left, and then I'll have my edge profile, the same gap, like thickness of a joint here, here, here. It's gonna look awesome. So, hi Gala. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to go back to your live stream. Through here and there we have. They wanna see your work. Man, that is true. Like you won't be able to prove your work if you don't have proofs. So here it is. That's true. That's the way it is. So yeah, I mean, I know, Gala. I also sometimes I go to sleep and then I'll be like just laying in the bed, staring into ceiling, and be like, okay, what does it mean? So yeah, of course, people want to see your work. Like you can be extremely talented, and you might have zero work because nobody knows about you. So internet gives you that free option, free chance to become someone. So then you are recognizable, and then you all of a sudden start having more work than sometimes less talented guys. They can have more work just because they are getting exposed to public. When there are great specialists who would be just extremely shy, or they don't want anyone to see them, they don't want to speak to people, they don't want to, so they are just in the shade. And unfortunately it's hard unless they have met someone who can give them a nice decent project and also respect them and treat them. But mostly it's just people who are I mean, not earning enough if it's not enough demand on their work. So this is the way it is, unfortunately. So or fortunately, I don't know, because like not everyone, like everyone cannot be a president, right? Or like uh like celebrity, because if anyone could do it, so what's the value of, like, no, you have to put hard work and get certain education or whatever. So the same stuff about that. Like some people, they getting recognized and they have more income and they earn more. I mean, there is a saying that you earn uh, you earn in relation to your value. So if you help a lot of people, then you get a lot of outcome from that by getting money. If you help just yourself or a few people around you, then your income will be in accordance with that. So lots of people who sell a lot of products, they solve problems of like hundreds or like millions of people, so they earn money. And when you solve just your problems, you earn a little bit of money. So this is pretty much how it works. And pretty much we're getting paid because we are either solving some problem, making someone's life better, or at least we are participating in that activity when maybe somebody is hiring you and this person is doing kind of problem solving. But anyways, you're taking part in that, so this is the way it works. So okay. And also for this style, it will be extremely easy to grout it, because when it's porcelain, like ceramic, I mean, you fill your joints with grout and it dries immediately. So you almost don't have to wait for the reaction to occur before you can wipe it off with a sponge. So it's just perfect. But if it's porcelain, you have to make more tile if it's ceramic, so you can start wiping it off immediately, and then you can do more tile then. Perfect. So yeah, mosaic will go on the back, but it will be tomorrow, and I have a few more pieces to put on the top. So I will angle the camera, and I just need to do that because I don't want to do it tomorrow. Hi Tyler Gage. Hi Don Cindy Joyd, if it's right. You accomplished so much, my friend. Thank you very much, Gala. So yeah, so give me a second, Tyler. If you're still here, I will read your comment. Just trying to adjust the camera so then you can see me, because I have custom kind of custom made tripod made out of 2x4s, because I forgot mine somewhere. So let me read it. Tyler Gage, just tuning in, and I've been looking for a job but have no experience, but want to start doing this type of work, being a general contractor. What would be your advice for me just starting out without, I assume, without experience, or without going to school to learn this trade? Okay, Tyler, so uh, let me know if you're still here by dropping something in the chat, like plus or yes or whatever. And if you can let me know your age, just let me know your age in the comments. So I'm hoping that you're here. Okay, that's great. So you said uh, without um, without going to school. So I assume when I say what I'm gonna say, I assume that you don't have kids, that you don't have wife yet, and there is not much responsibility that you have to cover financially, because my advice might not work if you have to pay for rent, for the house, I mean, for like you have kids or stuff. But anyways, I would say that way would be the anyway probably the best way to go, even though 37. So you're here. First, you need to decide if it's really something that you wanna do, because that work is heavy on your body. So I've been doing it 16 years, and I'm gonna tell you, uh, my body is sore. So sometimes without proper workout, you'll be just exhausted, and when I'm saying make sure it's something you wanna do, I mean, if you are at some point tired, or maybe you're not getting paid well as you expect, or as you need it, or as your skill maybe should be paid well, and if you hate what you do, you won't be able to stand against all that stuff, because I like what I do, and even though oftentimes I might be tired and my body is sore, because I love what I do, I can do it even for free, just because I like it. So let's say you decided that it's something for you, you like it, and you want to stick with it. So my my advice would be, make your research. Go to download the Indeed app, or go to Indeed website. It's, or like ZipRecruiter, I think, but I found the one that was Indeed, which worked good for me, and I found quite a few jobs, and I worked when I just came to United States from Ukraine 5 years ago. So go there and find companies. Find companies that work on interesting projects, that have projects that you might be interested in working in. So let's say there is a place that does some new construction for like $1 million homes. They have budgets, and apply for a job and put in your application that you want to learn, and that you are motivated, pretty much so they can see your values and know that you are not just some dude that want to get as much money as possible and not give them back any value, and that it might be some time that they will just waste, and you'll just quit or whatever. So you can use ChatGPT and tell him, I need to create my kind of resume, so then I can get a job like that and describe that job. Now they also, on this website, they use AI feature, so it helps you pretty much to find also the jobs that matches your criteria. So find the job and pretty much let them know that you are passionate about studying that. And I figure that it's better sometimes to have someone who doesn't know nothing, but who is just nice person, just kind person, honest, open, and willing to learn and kind of move forward. So if you are that kind of person, and you will find the people who figured the same stuff, and I'm telling you, like most experienced remodelers or like business owners, they would agree with me that it's a treasure to find a person like that. Sometimes it's better have a person that doesn't have any skills, and just you can teach the person if it's a good person, if the person has good personality and he's listening. And so you applied for a job, and just find, I don't know how many, it depends on the state and city you live in, but apply like few of them, make like 10 or 15, and ask them uh, what would be the way to see them to meet them, to introduce yourself face to face. So, and then when you meet them, you can tell them that like your story and everything. So I would say just apply a few jobs and then find the one that will offer you more perspective, and so then you can learn more. You can ask them questions about like their specialists, what they do, and so you can stick to someone who can actually teach you but not just use you, because there are some companies that could just hire you and have you just do most of this kind of stuff that they just don't want to do. Something, I mean, manual labor or whatever. Or sometimes you might get hired as a like tile setter and be doing drain cleaning because they moment they decided to do that, but then they kind of had another project and you just have to kind of like be there and keep doing the stuff that you are not planning to do. So make sure that this is their kind of specialization, what they do. So when you figure that, yeah, just apply as many jobs as you can. And like the way it worked for me, like when some people figure that I'm honest, I show up in time, I deliver what I said, even though I was a teenager. Then skilled specialists that noticed me, they took my number and they started introducing me. I mean, to inviting me to work on another projects with them. And then I met few designers that gave my phone to their clients. So all of a sudden, I have my own clients. And it was little by little, but I was able to start from something. So that's what I would suggest. Or I mean, you can find the guy through the YouTube maybe, or TikTok, or any other place like social media that is in your city, town. And if you find the guy that has a personality you like, or maybe skill set that you want to study, you can just text him and say, hey man, or like you just watching me, you left your comment, and just say, I want to stick with you and I want to do stuff like that. Could you have me as a helper? And I would like to learn and earn. So this might be the way as well. So pretty much that would be my suggestion. And I taught quite few guys. And it was in Ukraine, when I was in Ukraine. So I make $24 hour working on airplane parts. That is cool. That's cool. I admire your calm demeanor and your conversations about things you love. Thank you. Thank you. That's really good. Thank you. This is so reassuring. Really amazing. Thank you, guys. So, Tyler, let me know if you are here still listening. Drop plus in the chat or something. I can see. Okay, I appreciate your advice. You have a new subscriber. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate you. So, I mean, I wish you good luck. And like I was trying to say, that I had quite few guys that I taught, and they found me the same way. They just needed work. And I mean, you can go through YouTube or TikTok and find someone who's maybe posting stuff. Uh, Sometimes, Tyler, like you might need to move and change the city or place where you live. So let's say I lived in Ohio, and I would say that there was less work there and more competition. So I lived in pretty close to Akron, and I mean it was quite difficult. And I spent 5 years there. For 2 years, I worked for a company. I became like a lead carpenter there, but it wasn't a long time because I quit. They were good people and treated me well until I quit. So it wasn't also something that they expected. And after having my own business, I just wanted to work for myself. And I found them through Indeed. And also you might be like, you might wanna, you can be also honest and like be straightforward about saying that you worked for a company for $24 and you can dedicate, let's say, I don't know, 3 months or whatever you decide for yourself, and to get certain skill, knowledge, and maybe earn, like, it depends on your state, I don't know, like to earn less or maybe earn the same amount, but to be able to learn. And like if you have a nice guy that you met, that guy won't let you go when you will pass these like 3 months, and if you'll be doing great, he'll be happy to raise your salary if you can still um, I mean, if you can still give him a nice value and do work. Or if you wanna kind of work for yourself, you can start asking your friends and family about what they needs to be done, and if it's something that is related to what you want to learn, you can get your first experience there, and you can tell them that like, I want to learn stuff, and maybe it's not quite something that I do like a professional would do, but I guarantee that I will watch like all the YouTube videos about it. So usually you go and you search and you find everything, and then after having that base, you can do decent job if your hands are growing from the right place and you are passionate enough. So, and then you can earn some money. It might be actually, you might not need to quit from your job, and you might gain some experience from there, or maybe have some first mistakes that you can make. And since you are straightforward about your skill set, I mean, it won't be so damaging as it could be for a company or something. And who knows? I mean, it might take off from that. Maybe you're not gonna need to look for a job. Maybe you'll have your friends and family saying, "Man, you're actually great in it. Why don't you start your own business?" And then they will be like suggesting it to your other friends, or maybe your church if you go to church, or like, you know. Another thing that I would suggest, I use a lot the app that it's called Nextdoor. So it is something that you can do for free, and just do some work for your friends, family, relatives, and then say that you you want to take some pictures from the job that you did and post these pictures on the next door and create a post. And again, like if you can find the words, just you, we are lucky enough to live when we have chat GPT and all sort of AI stuff, and just ask him to help him and create the post for you so you can place it on the next door, and pretty much it will show this post among all the people that are located somewhere nearby where you live. And you can say that, hey, I mean, my name is this, that, and I'm doing this kind of job. Here's my photos. And maybe if it's your relatives, you can even attach the photo of the, maybe some kind of feedback, their feedback. Or maybe you can even, like, if it's your relatives, you can record their reaction kind of hidden from them, but then say that, like, I recorded your reaction and I was happy that you love it. Don't you mind if I will post it like some kind of advertisement for myself? So you can do something like that. And that next door, sometimes it takes, like, you have to do, I would say, quite few posts there. Maybe just take 3 weeks and post every day. And you will get some people who will be like, hey, I actually need this done, that done. Could you come and give me a price on it or something? Or you can say that, like, I do this and I charge that much for that. And also, for you to know pricing, you have to track how much time it takes you to do something, to be honest, if you're charging hourly. So, or if you want to charge per job in future. So keep recording that these numbers, so you know how much time it takes you to complete certain work. So then you will have, like, for all these bathrooms and everything, even now I'm putting in my notes every time how much time I spent, what were the difficulties. So then next time I'm not guessing how much to charge for a job, because, like, I used to work for a company and I was kind of, sometimes you just forget. You just, if you don't write anything, you just forget, and you'll be doing the same stuff. It'll be like, how, like, if especially if it's different things, you'll be like, I don't quite remember how much time. Oh, let it be that much. And then you say, and then you'll be like, wow, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. And then you ended up just volunteering, having no money, and hating what you thought you're gonna love. So this is my advice. Yeah, next door, and, like, be present online. You have to, like, choose one platform for yourself. It might be Instagram, or it might be Facebook, probably Facebook if you're in the United States, and keep posting the photos of your work. So first work you did, you take some before, after, in process, and you post it, and you do, and you post it, and you do, and you post it, and then you have enough proofs that you do this kind of work. Because I remember when I was 18 and I did such a amazing, like, it was really popular in Europe to do drywall ceiling, but it will be like multiple level ceilings that are kind of having hidden LED lights, like radials, and it was really hard. Like, um, it was really hard to do it, and it looked beautiful when you are finished with it. So, but I haven't taken any photos. Can you imagine that? And now I have only memories, and I can tell, like, I did this or that, and some people be like, I don't even know what it is. Like we don't do ceilings like that here, so I don't know what you mean. So yeah, keep make sure that you keep all the photos and everything, because you might also lose your device or whatever. But if you posted it in Instagram or Facebook, it's there, and you can always get access to your account if you forget password. So that's why social media is good. So this would be my advice, Tyler, if you're still here, if you're still listening. If not, it will be also useful for someone who maybe have the same thoughts as Tyler has. So, I mean, with your name, Tyler, I think you should have some luck with style. So, I think just don't hesitate and don't burn bridges. Like when you quit, do it in the right manner. If you quit, and just to make sure that you can, who knows, like life can have different turns, and you never know what might happen in the future. So just be smart, take your time, don't be impulsive, and just wish you good luck to find a nice place. Uh, so Aton bets maybe you should talk or install tile, but not both at the same time because your mumbling and painfully slow work isn't working. Long story short, you can chew bubble gum and walk. I mean, you can also switch to faster tile installation channel if you think it's too hard. So I mean, I'm sorry. It's just like on the top, it doesn't go as fast because I have to put the sensor on the tile. So if you don't quite get it, and I mean, when somebody needs help, I think it's like you have to be kind and help if you can give some, because at some point I needed those advice and I had no one who could share it with me. So, and I seen the comment from Uncommon Woman, I can say that next door is pretty right thing. Be nice. So I mean, that's okay. I mean, he maybe just wanted to see more visual like changes and everything, and it's just quite fine. Uh, so thank you for protecting me, guys. So I will show the final result. Absolutely, I'll be grouting that stuff. So Tyler, yeah, that's that's true. So hi Gala, tuned here. So God's blessing to you, Tyler. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And just yeah, that's true. You have to relate to God and keep praying, so He can direct you, because we as human can just do as much as possible, but He can guide you and maybe turn you the right way and sometimes give you right people, right direction. Because even like with this YouTube channel, man, I had a guy, I was doing some work and I was about to make some mistake that was not forgivable by applying some material, some substrate that wasn't kind of, it wasn't the right substrate to apply it on. And the guy was like, I've been doing it for like 40 years, man, and I paid from my pocket for that. And he warned me, and he was like, it's not something you want to hear, but you have to remove that subfloor and put actual plywood. And maybe it wasn't something that I was happy to hear, but I'm pretty sure that he was God sent to adjust me and for me to save money in future for customer, have the nice end result. And I ended up removing the subfloor and putting the new subflooring, and it turned out great. I explained the customer what I'm doing, why I was doing that. So this is how it works. Yeah, I mean, and I was like kind of hesitate about that whole subfloor at that moment. So you reach to the right person by asking, because I spent 5 years here after having my life like uh, all kind of settled in Ukraine, and it took me 5 years here to learn, to study the difference pretty much between construction here and there, what their priorities are, and everything. So, uh, I mean, I wasn't working with my hands maybe last year or maybe even more. before I moved to the United States. So, and kind of start over then after. And then I moved to Tennessee after 5 years from Ohio. So after having my business there and started over again. So just, I mean, keep making. It's mistakes are diamonds. When you make the mistake, you can adjust. Before you made your first mistake, there is nothing to adjust. So some people, they are afraid to make changes and everything. I just watched a video yesterday of a guy that he worked at Taco Bell, and he got approached by some person that offered him six-figure job after some miraculous kind of transformation that he went through. And it's all started from him not being afraid to change things and being open and willing to learn and study. So that's it, man. That's it. Just don't be afraid and persevere and make yourself like a checklist and just go one by one what you need to do to be where you want to be. And every day is a one step forward, one step towards where you want to be, and stick to people who will be like uplifting your spirit and not pushing you down. And that's it. And I'm pretty sure you'll be at the right place. So I'm actually kind of at the stage when I'm thinking about maybe having somebody to like as a helper, but it's also hard. Sometimes you might be praying for helper and then be like, man, it's hard to have the right person, because like nowadays people, they are happy and they are ready to consume, but and it's like consumers mindset overall, but they are not quite ready to to bring any value. So like takers but not givers. So it's kind of difficult to understand it, and to, I would say, realize it, but it is what it is. So guys, sorry for me being slow, since it's at the end of the day. I would say the end of the day, and I'm tired, and I'm just trying to finish because I don't want to do that tomorrow. Like tomorrow, I want to come and I want to do the niche. And then I can switch. I'll probably leave this bathroom to dry for a few days, maybe one day, whatever, and then I will do the baker board in another master bedroom. So pretty much I just want to move forward. That's why. It's already late. I forgot my watches today. So, and on the phone it shows me the wrong time for some reason. So yeah, you can see some people, they put the sunset on the tile, and you can see how slow it is when you put it on the tile. It's like really slow. That's why I like to put it on the wall. Of course, it's like if it's a large format, you have to back butter, pretty much apply it here and there. And in this case, I did so because on the go board on the top, it doesn't stick well if you don't kind of work it into the material. But it sticks well to the tile, but not the go board unless you kind of press it in. So. And I don't quite understand why this ceiling has light here, why it's not centered, why it's not, I mean, I understand that it's centered where the shower head is, but why it's not centered here, I don't know. So, and also I have my light shining from the side and from the bottom, but it's not shining from the top, so there might be some shade that this installation will start casting after, but I think it will be more like a benefit, not the disadvantage, because when you have a brick pattern, you want it to look like, I mean, like a tile, like a brick kind of thing. If you want a nice and straight, plain surface, you better stick with like porcelain. That's large format, so then you can use like a self-leveling system. You can clamp them together and have nice and even surface, but not with the brick subway tile, brick pattern. So yeah, it's just a little bit left, but guys, I'm tired. Just getting slower and slower and slower and slower. You know that moment when it's like at some point you're just like and you're getting slow. So this is that moment. But thank you for staying with me. So I'm not here just by myself, because I would go crazy. So let's see, hopefully it will, I'll need to cut it. So actually I was showing you the tool that, like the pliers. So let me show you. Common woman 8. So it is 8 o'clock. Thank you for so yeah, for letting me know what time it is. Tyler Gage, thank you so much for your advice. I have to get to bed now for a job I hate. Lol, but will be improving that in my next chapter. How old are you? Me asking. Yeah, I don't mind. I'm 33. And another thing that I would suggest is, you said the work I hate. Start looking at it from the angles that might be not that disappointing. So pretty much find something good that you can find. I know that it might be hard, especially I don't know your case and everything, but I remember there was a stage in my life when I was seeing even what I do. I was like, I don't feel like I love it, or I'm tired or whatever. So then I shifted my perspective, and actually I figured that there were other things that were making me not satisfied, and it was related to my work as well. So I'm just chopping the tile. It should go there and fit there perfectly. I'm hoping that I didn't took off too much. So, and it's 8 o'clock. Guys, I felt that it's like already 9:30 or something. Because for me it feels like it's like taking forever. And also when I talk, the time goes faster, but you kind of think that probably it's like goes not as fast as you think. So okay, so this is the last tile of that row. That is almost last row. So it should fit there perfectly now and be covered. So okay, so I'll have to adjust a little bit here and here just to bring them a little bit, just a little bit to give myself a little bit more room for that joint. Just like that, yes. Okay. Up and down, left, right, down. Okay. That's it. Oh man. Okay, so now shimming this one. And now guys, it's the last row. Last row. And I can shut off my laser level. Yeah, I know that it's kind of hard when you see the ceiling and half of the wall, but it's all my custom tripod made out of 2x4 can achieve, because I forgot my real tripod at home. So now I need to cut those tiles. And it looks like it's pretty level, the ceiling, so I should be able to cut them the same. So So yeah, pretty much one. Let me try and cut one piece, and then I'll be able to see if I can cut more of them, like just like this one, before I cut a bunch of them. Okay. So this one is perfect. Let's see how perfect it is here. Great. Kind of smaller. Okay, so smaller. So I would have two tiles like that. Yeah, too small. So it has a little bit of a tilt, that ceiling. So yeah, I'll cut one more tile like that. Okay, so I have two tiles. Yep, so I'm gonna put them Gonna put them in place. Okay. Okay. So one, two. Okay. Second tile. Just like that. Okay, that's it. That's it. Perfect. Perfect. Just like that. Just like that. And then I'll need to mark another piece for here. I got 3 more pieces, guys, and I'll be done for today, and I will show you, so stay tuned. I'll show you how the whole room looks like, so you'll see what you are participating in and like how it looks at the end of the day. So now I'm gonna check how this tile will fit here. Okay, it fits perfectly. Here it fits also great, and here it fits might be a little bit bigger for that side. So one more tile like that, and one tile that should be a tiny bit bigger. Okay, just like that. Just like this one. Might be even a little shorter. Okay, so it should. So this one will go first. This one will be second, and then this tile will be third. Okay, guys, I should be I should be done with it really quick. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I have a little bit slightly different sizes, but it's okay because I have also different distance there. So this one will go on the very top. The first. Okay. So this one will go here. This is the shortest one. Okay. Perfect. Like I said, the top, there will be caulking on the top that will fill everything. Okay. So another one is gonna go right after this one. Just like that. Okay. Then left to right, left, right. Spreading it behind the tile. Perfect. 2 shims. Shim it out. Just like that. Just like that. Yeah, space it up. That's it. Okay, and the very last one, guys. So you will be witnesses to me. You will be witnesses. Okay, so the last tile. Last tile before I will show you guys the. Okay, so I have to trim it tiny bit, just tiny bit, because these walls, they are off, like they are not quite level. That's why I had to chop it. Okay, guys, now last tile. Last tile. So, guys, we did it. We did it. It's all ready. So now let me show you one more. Let me show you how it looks like before. And it's extremely dark now on the outside. Okay, so hi Will Riviera, Luca, it's looking amazing. Thank you, Will. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna show you guys my setup so you can see how I was having my phone all this time. Okay. So this is the tripod, guys. Look at that. This is the tripod. It's like it has a notch for the charger. So yeah, pretty much this is the bathroom. This is the heater that was placed here to keep me warm, and I had to shut it off. So here's the view of this wall that we completed over here, the niche. And let me show you. So yeah, this is another area where I was kind of having my tile. I still have one more box and one open box. So this open box will go on the side. Here is the mosaic. Here's the mosaic. So this mosaic will go. Uh, this mosaic will go on the niche. Let me show you. So what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow, that will go on the back of the niche, and then on the sides it will be the Schluter and the same tiles, so it will like wrap to the side. So this will be covered with casing, just like on the windows. You see, I measured and it's exactly where it should be. So I'm gonna tell you I'm tired, and let me show you. I will turn on the flashlight and I'll show you where my phone with internet is located. So here is the exterior kind of. Oh man, I have my head kind of went up. So this is, it's all dark and it's the only spot where it has internet. You see that structure, and this is my internet provider right here. This is my phone, and as you can see, it's all dark. It's like almost, you can see nothing here. So I'll still leave it there just so I can finish this live stream. But for now, I will be collecting all my tools and stuff. So yeah, here's that house. So this is a fireplace, uh, and this is the stone that will be used here. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say that I like it, unfortunately. So this is this mosaic that I use, the whole work bench kind of messy thing. So yeah, this is the bathroom again, how it looks like. Yeah, you see, nice and shiny. Nice and shiny. After the grout, it's gonna look amazing. So let me show you another. So you probably already seen me. I did that mudroom here. I was live streaming that thing. So this is like a hexagon kind of tile. You see. So I did that, and I have the whole process recorded on my YouTube channel live stream. If you want to check it at some point, you can. And this is another room. So I also be doing this. I'm gonna be doing this backsplash here. So it will be white subway tile. Here's the kerosene and for the heater and stuff. I mean, I've done that. Actually, this tile, when you put it, you can put it without any spacers, and because of how angled and rough it is, it has perfect gapping the way it is by itself. So This is another room. This is my wet saw, rigid 8-inch blade. So it's here, and I was cut some of the stuff with it, and I placed it next to the bathroom that I'll be using it the most. So this is the other